gender-based violence, Botswana specifically, has reached a point in where it's pandemic.
People that just it's just tiring now.
How
do you even see that as a sexual being?
And people like turn a blind eye. It's a family thing.
It angers me every single time I see Hello
guys, and welcome back to Third Opinion. My name is Mr. _ and the guy with the soprano. Thank you so much guys for the support, the feedback. Don't forget to subscribe and do the most. Let us support them too. And today I am with Mr. UK.
Oh, Mr. UK. This is not my crop top. This is my kiss me and queer. Dumelang guys. Welcome to another episode of Third Opinion. And I guess today we're about a topic that is very close to my heart, but I'll let Sharon introduce it. Sharon.
I thought you were going to do what you did at that other episode.
I know.
Where you introduced We know you. We know you. Hi everybody, my name is Shazzy Shaz. Welcome back to Third Opinion. I am still the rose amongst the thorns.
This again. This again.
Today, we really appreciate your comments, your interactions. Subscribe, like, share. Let the people know. Let your friend know. Tell your friend. Tell their friend. Tell their friends that Third Opinion is here. So, but whenever we read the introduction, and I had some introduction by Philippine. Anyways, so now today we're talking about gender-based violence. Like what is the most like I tell my gender-based violence is a topic that is now becoming big, if I may say so, and it's a very sensitive topic. I think it angers me every single time I see from the posts and updates that we see on social media. We had a short discussion before this shoot prior, and Austin raised Hore. Okay, fine. We talk about gender-based violence. We concentrate mostly on the girl child. But what about the boy child? Do we sit our boy children down and then tell them, Hore, it's not right to do this to girls. It's not right to do this to girls. You should also know, Hore, this is not right when somebody does this to you as a boy child. I get attention it too much, and then this is how you protect yourself from the boy child. But we need to balance it. Teach
we don't teach boys and men how not to be perpetrators, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we teach the girl child on how to
respond.
To see what this is a perpetrator and how to respond to them.
Hey, it's more like every month
and it then keeps growing.
We forget the root cause, you know. I feel like I said the reason why why are we focused mostly on protecting while we're not focused on those people
on prevention
eventually performing those tasks? We're not saying women don't do it, but mostly it's men. They beat up and other male, other male, so they abuse every other gender. So now you feel like as a child, because you know, like I said before in my other episode, when I studied psychology, you know, when you train one, you know how to behave. You know, they grow up with those values. They carry on and body pass to banababone and so forth. So we have to teach them at a younger age, do right, so that you know, things work out right. I don't know what you think when
happy. I'm touching on to the same opinion that you have, Austin. we also teach, I think we also teach the girl child from a very young age around men. You carry yourself in a certain way, you dress in a certain way. I remember there was a time, my late uncle, I read this, so he wanted something from me. He walks in and then tells my younger sister, Sharon, okay. And then my younger sister, Mara, she's in the room. So my uncle didn't even wait to the bedroom. So Harwan Tatala, my younger sister, she's not dressed. And then my sister is all confused. My uncle Umara, no, I'm talking about this thing. I already know there's nothing new. He walks into the room, asks for what he wants, he gets it, and he leaves. Good, that's how comfortable I am with him also. I was with him also. No,
but I think I don't know. For me, these are the things
around their relatives, their fathers, their uncles. But they shouldn't be thinking, my uncle is around Tebelela and find a woman enough for them to sleep with me.
But now it's a bit.
I don't know. I think that one also brings in an issue of respecting privacy.
So
let's hear what Lala has to say.
They won't react to seeing me as somebody they can sleep with
sexually.
How could it that way? They won't see any sexuality to it.
I don't know. I mean, I get what you mean, and there's value in that, but also what we are seeing a lot of instances where men rape their daughters. We have uncles raping their nieces, and get on a 3-month-old, for example, or a 2-year-old. Good, like what? Like, how do you even see that as a sexual being? So I think we also need to understand I think gender-based violence is more than, it's not an issue of I'm sexually attracted. It's an issue of power as well, like people enforcing an abuse of their own power over somebody else. So I think it's a big issue of teaching bana it's about teaching people from a young age, and also even as they're adults, because we can't just address banaya without also even adults have to unlearn and relearn the power that they carry and how to enforce that power without violating Batswabam. And I mean, I personally feel like gender-based violence, Botswana specifically, has reached a point where it's pandemic, I would say, because what was the stats? Hardly 67%.
67,
which is what twice the global average. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then when you look at even transgender persons, it goes all the way from 21 to 68% global. It's unacceptable. I think a big part of it is it's not just. We need to talk about this, yes, and have these conversations in our social circles. We need to talk about this and have these conversations in our social circles and investigate, like influence people to change. But we also need to change the melao such that, you know, they allow the space where there is proper response programs to start with.
Do you think I forgot.
Well, when you talk about like Lalabuar, it's a pandemic. Also, like in other countries.
Okay.
In other countries, like I think it's everywhere. Like in Thailand, like that's seen by basadi, and people like turn a blind eye. It's a family thing. It's a family issue thing. They will solve it as a family. If you tell like you can even get punished to be I'm not sure about the laws here. Do they protect women as much as they need to? But I know what I know for sure is like family problems. But what they walking past it. Now we are told hey, certainly do it about as we arrive in Thailand. Don't
try and be a hero.
Yes.
So what I was gonna say is, when Lala was talking, was that, do you think it's now reached a point where it's a pandemic, or it's just that the world has now become a very small place because of social media and because of people now encouraging people to now come out and report such things?
No, I think in Botswana specifically, we've reached pandemic levels. I mean, every time I check the papers, there's some there's something is in the water
in the air.
Because every time you open the paper, the other day there was an incident where a lady was abducted and she was raped by, was it three people who she thought were her friends, or at least one of them was her friend and two of his friends, gang rapes. And it's not just Kweletlaka, it happens all over the country.
It's like
all over the country. So I don't think it's something. I think it's pandemic because, yes, maybe now with the advent of social media, we're learning about more of these cases. But I think let's know the cases themselves. And whatever
they're probably encouraging other people to get the guts to
exactly. So whatever the response has been is clearly inefficient, and we need to also discuss ways to how do we respond in a manner that is much more efficient now.
And I want to believe it's also now time that people the root cause. It's time we also start paying more attention to Ngwana Simane, to men also. We know somebody who has the initiative, Spanamfana, and then there's also the Pito that you were talking about, Laone, earlier. If more of these could come up, as much as Basadi, I want to believe hopefully the statistics, the pandemic will find a cure, a vaccine, something.
I feel happy Rona as adults. We need to also treat ourselves like at our big age now. You need to be like a role model, a role model to all these young people. I'm a teacher, so I'm always around kids, like 5 days to 6 days a week. And this incident that happened this past week. I was talking to one of the other teachers, like, I miss this child. So I called up one, but in the previous year you were fine. Who told you? Who told you? No, just people talk about it. Okay, forget who told me. Why are you like that? About what's the point of me trying to be good when I'm already painted bad? That's what saying. So when I'm trying to be good, my teacher so and then you as an adult as well, you have an influence. Bonarumano from last year, 12 months ago, he was a very good child. Now later on, he's starting to rebel because of what you have painted. How only the use of being a good person because so Rona as older people, like with these kids, we make sure we encourage them. We try to teach them, even it doesn't have to be your child, because and then you already have that. You're already connected to that child. 10 to 15 years ago, you could have been a positive impact in their life. So we should also be a walking positive what do you call it? Injection.
And also,
I really would like to
are raping and abusing because we've already said no, but that
men are trash.
They are trash.
I don't know, but I feel like I'd really like to know from the viewers, in their opinion, what is it exactly incidents of gender-based violence are on the rise? Because from having been part of the responding mechanism, working in NGOs and reviewing policy stuff and whatever, I know of a number of responses that are in place across the country. But like I know preschools that teach children how to identify good and bad touches, which is like teaching children how to know to recognize when they're being abused in a manner where it is child sensitive and is ngwana o kgona gore a tlhaloganye without go rogana le go irisa puo e botle. I know preschools that do it. I know primary schools that do it. I know NGOs across the country that have events where they meet with fathers, they meet with boys and they teach them about gender-based violence. They teach them how to respond when they see somebody being abused, how to identify when they are being abused, when they are abusers. All of these. I know so many programs. I know programs that keep women out, that take women out of violent spaces, but I'm seeing the statistics. So for me, it's a big question. Is clearly, it's insufficient. But other than mapodisi, right? I don't know if it's a training issue. Where when you get police, it becomes an incident. I've been in a police station where there was a lady who was there and she had come to report. I was there for something completely different. She was there to report a rape that happened to her. And the way it was handled, more fishing. Where rents home, and she's going through the details of what happened. At a private office, you and I'm going through and then abar we don't need to be in the same space.
That's what I'm saying.
We
also,
really don't.
Professionalism, with
the delicacy, with the delicacy that it deserves.
To start off with, it's a very sensitive issue. So I have the stats here. Can I read the stats for you guys?
Sure.
I will also link the stats on this gender-based violence. I found that intimate partner violence, most violence occurs in intimate partnership. Almost 2 in 1 women report.
1 in 2, you mean?
Almost 2 in 3 report having ever experienced IPV in their life. 1 in 3 women report having experienced it in 12 months. Before this survey was done in 2019. Child sexual abuse, 1 in 4 women. And non-partner sexual violence, 1 in 10 women reported this. And then also, it says that gender-based violence is underreported in Botswana. 1 in 9 women, they say, who were raped reported the matter to the police. I feel right in front of exactly. I think what Lala has said, let's keep this conversation going, and it's important that we are aggressive about it, and let's encourage people to talk about it. Lala and Sharon they really encouraged me. I talk about this with friends, but not on platforms like this. But it's very important, like as individuals, let's talk about it. If find someone who's able to speak and share. You share the same opinions. Share it. You can just share it. You don't say anything on it. Just share it because I don't know.
And it's also an opportunity for you to learn at that time. But I think, this is one topic, where it goes on and on. Like, we were just talking about like physical violence, but gender-based violence is a really broad topic that encompasses sexual violence, physical violence, emotional, financial. But I think just
we just talked about 1-2% of
we're just now talking like just a very small portion of what is happening. But I think this is something that it's a conversation that we all need to have. And I think the only way we can advocate for change, or the only way we can effect change and address this issue, we can't hide from it forever. But I think also in the shares in closing.
Shares in closing. It's okay, guys. Not that reliable give people that just it's just tiring now. So, but I give kudos to the activists, to people who are encouraging people to report, to people who listen to those who are in abusive relationships and seem to not be able to get out because it's really not an easy thing to just decide one morning, no, I'm up and leaving an abusive relationship. Kudos to the support system, guys. Keep going. Let's go ahead like Bill.
Hey, borre baleling influential. Please,
Lead by example.
There are a lot of females banning these female things. They long bad dira. Sky girls, you know, they're having conversations. Who am I? They're having conversations. Like Tobo started something in Pizzo. Like a lot of guys. You are very influential. Just find 5-6 boys and start a society. You can help. They will pay forward. You know, you start something, it become exponential, and it will That's all I can say.
But I think
Lala.
And should I close?
Who will see you?
But I think in closing, once again, I'll just reiterate what I said. This is a topic where the only way we can effect change, we each need to introspect on what are we doing to address the issue. These are conversations that we need to have. And it's an uncomfortable situation. It's an uncomfortable conversation because sometimes when you approach this conversation, you end up or whatever. But if we don't have this conversation, then we will continue to keep circling and cycling back into these cycles of violence. We will in the description to this video also include links to various actors within the country and who respond to gender-based violence, whether it's NGOs that we know of, and
as
then
much information as we
people
can,
that we know of. We will share as much information as we can in the description. But you know, and you'd like to interact with this topic, please comment, leave it in the comments, drop us a DM, so we keep the conversation going. Lastly, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share with your friends and your mates at the church, here, online, and everywhere.
Yes.
Till next time.
Bye.